Hi. Let's learn about the 80 to 20 rule. Today, we will talk about the 80 to 20 rule, what it is, how it works. The 80 to 20 rule, also known as the Pareto Principle, is a familiar saying that asserts that 80% of outcomes result from 20% of causes for any given event. For example, it's used in business to prioritize inputs that are most productive to focus on. But this rule isn't just for business. Wealth distribution, personal finance, and even personal relationships can also be analyzed using the 80 to 20 rule. The 80 to 20 rule explains that 80% of outcomes come from 20% of causes. For businesses, it's often used to point out that 80% of a company's revenue is generated by 20% of its customers. However, the rule is about more than just cause and effect. It's a way of identifying an entity's best assets and using them efficiently to create maximum value. The core principle of the 80 to 20 rule is about identifying the most beneficial parts of something, like a textbook for a student or a company's most valuable customers. Then, those parts should be prioritized and focused on, but it doesn't mean that the other elements should be ignored. Two common misinterpretations of the 80 to 20 rule are that the percentages of units must equal 100%, and that if 20% of inputs are most important, then the other 80% must be unimportant. This isn't the case, as the rule is a precept, not a mathematical law, and the other 80% can still be important. The 80 to 20 rule, or Pareto Principle, was first used in macroeconomics to describe the distribution of wealth in Italy. It was introduced in 1906 by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto and was later applied in quality control for business production by Dr. Joseph Uran in the 1940s. While there's little scientific analysis to prove or disprove the rule's validity, anecdotal evidence shows that the 80 to 20 rule has been successful in various businesses. Performance results of salespeople in different industries have also demonstrated success by incorporating the 80 to 20 rule. A student named Carla used the 80 to 20 rule to improve her blog's traffic. After understanding that 80% of the impact on her blog came from 20% of visitors, she targeted her top 20% of readers more purposefully. As a result, her blog's traffic increased by more than 220%. Carla applied the concept of the 80 to 20 rule to her blog project after realizing the low traffic and contemplating the effort she put into creating the blog. By focusing on marketing and visitor analysis, she was able to significantly increase her blog's traffic. Through web analytics, Carla focused on the blog's traffic, then she analyzed and edited the blog's content to target her top 20% of readers more purposefully. By applying the 80 to 20 rule to her blog, Carla gained a better understanding of her audience, reworked the blog's structure and content, and increased traffic to her site by over 220%. The 80 to 20 rule is a principle that states 80% of all outcomes are derived from 20% of causes. It's used to determine the factors that are most responsible for success and then focus on improving them. The rule can be applied to circumstances beyond the realm of business, too. The 80 to 20 rule underscores the importance of focusing your energy on the aspects that get you the best results without ignoring the areas that are less successful. It's about prioritizing focus and tasks, and then solving problems that reveal themselves. When investing, consider prioritizing 20% of stocks that contribute 80% of the market's returns. You might create an 80 to 20 allocation, 80% to lower risk index funds while 20% are growth funds. Remember that while this is a well-known strategy, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. The 80 to 20 rule maintains that 80% of outcomes comes from 20% of causes. It prioritizes the 20% of factors that produce the best results and encourages focusing on an entity's best assets efficiently for maximum value. This rule is a precept, not a hard and fast mathematical law, and it should not be interpreted to mean that the other 80% is unimportant. Here are 5 key takeaways. 1. The 80-20 rule maintains that 80% of outcomes comes from 20% of causes. 2. It prioritizes the 20% of factors that produce the best results. 3. A principle of the 80-20 rule is to identify an entity's best assets and use them efficiently to create maximum value. 4. This rule is a precept, not a hard and fast mathematical law. 5. People sometimes mistakenly conclude that if 20% of factors should get priority, then the other 80% can be ignored. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.